Hello, friends. A long time ago, humans domesticated wolves at the peak of the last ice age. Throughout generations of a mutually beneficial relationship, the wolf has transformed into a dog. Its new responsibilities include the defense of human homes and herds, hunting, and pulling of sleds. The dogs evolved with time, improving their breed's qualities. Eventually, wolves became the dog's enemy number one. The feeling was mutual. Being a clever and strong animal, a wolf would never miss a chance to feast on some domestic dog lost in the woods, or to simply steal one out of its kennel somewhere at the outskirts of the village. So why do wolves hate dogs so much? They're still relatives after all, albeit distant ones. There's a theory arguing that wolves attack dogs because they are hungry. A hungry predator is indeed capable of reckless actions, especially in the dead of winter when the prey is sparse. And if the dog is on a chain, it's easy prey. However, hunger is only one of the motives. For instance, there have been plenty of occasions when wolves attacked dogs but didn't feed on them later. So, what drives the wolves? Wolves are known to be territorial animals. Breeding pairs and sometimes entire packs of wolves settle on specific territories, marking its boundaries with odorous marks. During winter, the pack usually occupies land 30 to 60 kilometers in diameter. If there happens to be human settlements on the territory, then wolves can perceive domestic dogs as competitors for food that have invaded their territory. The pack's territory can extend for many kilometers, and there is no way wolves will tolerate strangers or competition on their land. Coyotes, jackals, foxes, and domestic dogs are all under constant threat. In the north of Russia, villagers usually chain their dogs, which means that the dog has no chance to survive a wolf attack. Moreover, most of the dogs are much weaker than wolves and thus have virtually no chance to win in a fight with them. Humans have been breeding new types of fighter dogs throughout millennia, aiming to get a dog capable of defeating wolves. Their main purpose is to defend humans and herds of cattle against the predators. For instance, our channel has a video of the Congo Shepherd dog breed, originating from Turkey. The Congo can put up a decent fight against wolves. There is also a breed called the Irish Wolfhound. It was bred for hunting deer and wolves. This dog belongs to the Greyhound family. It hunts using its intuition and doesn't bark as it might scare prey away. The Irish Wolfhound has a rather long history. When Britain was conquered by Rome, local nobility had giant dogs to hunt wolves, boars, and also to use them against human foes. So we have established that wolves and dogs are enemies. Therefore, it is even more astonishing when we learn about cases of friendship between the two. We've also told you a story about such a friendship before. This story happened in the town of Juneau, Alaska, USA. In 2003, a lone wolf had been repeatedly spotted near the town. The wolf didn't just roam the streets, but played with local dogs. At first, Juneau's residents thought that the wolf was planning to lure the dogs into a trap. However, the dogs were fine, and the wolf named Romeo continued to visit them to play. Eventually, the friendly Romeo became famous around the world. Remarkably, at that point, not only dogs, but also humans could play with the wolf. Locals got so used to Romeo that their children were allowed to play with the wolf too. Romeo visited the town for 7 years and disappeared in 2009. Soon, some poachers were arrested who had photos of their trophies on them. Romeo was among them. The researchers wondered if Romeo couldn't have been a hybrid of a Canadian wolf and a dog. This theory would explain why Romeo preferred dogs to his own blood relatives. The fact of the crossbreeding of dogs and wolves isn't new to science. However, until the mid-20th century, the cases were rare. Mass extermination of wolves in the 1950s to 1970s was accompanied by the breakdown of packs and the predator's sexual dysfunction, which in turn triggered the start of mass crossbreeding between dogs and wolves. Given the decreased population of wolves, they were substituted by dogs when pairs were created. An adult wolf who dislikes dogs might change its attitude in forced isolation. Scientific research demonstrated that a 4-year-old female wolf who displayed her hunting instincts when she encountered dogs changed her behavior entirely after she was isolated from other wolves for a month and a half. It is social isolation that can create the necessary precondition for the crossbreeding of dogs and wolves. Humans had been trying to crossbreed dogs and wolves for several decades to create better species who'd be stronger, have better hearing, and sense of smell. However, hybrids are cowardly, and they're no match to dogs in terms of trainability. Humans failed to create super dogs, but they did succeed in creating the perfect predator. Unlike wolves, hybrids create huge packs, sometimes up to 18 members. In the Urals, wolf-dog hybrids have become the main exterminators of the local roe deer. Unlike wolves, they can chase roe deer for long distances, up to 10 to 15 kilometers, which is typical for dogs. The most striking feature of these hybrid animals is that they prefer to eat domestic animals. They aren't afraid of humans as much as wolves are, so they fearlessly approach human habitat. Hopefully, this evidence will make us humans think before we get involved in nature's business again. Many of you probably wonder, what happens when little wolf pups are taken into a human house to live there? It is no secret that currently there is a heightened interest towards wolves as potential domestic animals. Researchers use different terms to describe the wolf's behavior and attitude in captivity. It's impossible to predict how a wolf would act in captivity because every animal has its individual character. Chances are, it might stay eternally loyal to its dog friend that it was raised together with, or that nursed the pup. However, there's always a chance that a wolf might simply take a bite out of its former companion. We cannot blame wolves for their instincts, honed by centuries. These instincts are much stronger than a temporary attachment of a pet wolf to a dog. After all, the wild animal didn't agree to living with humans and its eternal enemies, dogs. Roaming the woods with its pack is a much better option for the wolves. And that's all for today, friends. Would you risk taking in a wolf for a pet? Please share your thoughts on today's episode in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.